We've talked a lot about that here the last couple of weeks, and so, we are not going to pick up the fifth-year option on Zaven, and, I would say, like, we've had discussions with Zaven, and, we're extremely happy at where he's at, and, the versatility that Zaven brings to our defense, and, we want to keep Zaven around here. It's just, the fifth-year option, it removes some flexibility in terms of the cap that comes along, so, we're going to have some discussions here as we go. I love Zaven, love where he's at, love what he brings to our defense, and hopefully hopefully we can keep him around here for a long time.
Yeah, you know what? It's amazing because he really is an awesome dude. He is. He's a good football player, and he is an even better dude to have in that locker room, of course. At the same time, this was not a surprise, was it, Basinonians? I mean, this was a situation right here that we're not going to pay him $13.2 million going forward. Monty does an excellent job managing the salary cap. That, to me, that was a foregone conclusion that we were going to see this outcome.
Yeah, look, I would say, because we had a similar conversation about Isaiah Simmons a year ago, with Simmons, it really felt like, okay, he's gone. Because he's either still not going to figure it out and he's going to be gone, or he's going to end up playing so well that he's going to price himself out of here, and they ended up he was gone even before that. With Zaven, I mean, I do sort of think there's still a path where he stays here beyond this upcoming season. Now, maybe not. I mean, everything he did before last year doesn't really mean all that much to this coaching staff and this front office because it was before they got here, and he's moved around now to a different spot. But if he goes out there and is just a solid player, you can be solid and not price yourself out of this team in the future. So I wouldn't say this just means he's done, would you?
No, I honestly do believe that there is a path for Zaven Collins and the Arizona Cardinals to actually sign an extension after this season. Yet at the same time, it's not going to be the fifth-year option right here in the $13.2 million. I do believe it. I think Zaven is a guy that has got a very clear head on his shoulders, ladies and gentlemen. This is a guy that thinks his way through everything for the most part. He's one of my favorite guys. He's one of my favorite guys on the team because of his mentality, because of how he plays the game, and because of the upfront dude that he truly is.
He seems like somebody willing to poke a rattlesnake with a stick. He definitely does.
Just a what you see is what you get guy. And I really appreciate that and love that out of Zaven Collins. Yet at the same time, you're not going to pay him $13.2 million for the production or lack thereof that he had. He's got a lot of development to do. To me right now, I'd take Zaven Collins and I'd move him back inside. That would be what I would do with him. But once again, we're going to have to wait and see what they might have in store.
Yeah, it highlights the fact that if you look at the defense right now, there's a lot of guys that are either only signed for this upcoming season that have something to prove in that sense, or are just new and have something to prove in that sense, or are playing a newish position like Zaven is. You look at the defense for next season, and there's some promise there. You look at the defense beyond next season, and it's still taking shape. Let's put it that way. And now he's a part of that. He's in that mix on that, I guess as an edge right now, to figure out if he's going to be on this team in 2 years or where his career is going now.
Yeah, and, I honestly do believe that Monti Ossenfort, everything that he is saying right now is 100% legit in regard to wanting Zaven Collins back. He is. He's the kind of leader that you like inside that locker room. He's a guy that is going to go about his business. He's going to work super hard. He's going to do it in practice. He's just somebody, again, you're not going to pay $13.2 million to. It's just not going to happen. Monty is, I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but I think you probably have, Luke. I think everyone out there who's a Cardinal fan, Monti Ossenfort really is stingy when it comes to managing the salary cap.
Yeah.
And I think he's a pretty good steward over it.
Yeah, I would agree. And I wonder what that looks like when this team if they get to the point where they're like truly competing for a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like I think they should compete for a playoff spot this year. We'll see if they do or not, but I think they should. But I don't think anybody's looking at this team on May 1st and saying, yeah, it'll probably be them and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I don't think there's that thought. But what happens when they are at that point? Because he has been so smart with the money, I guess is the best way to put it. At a certain point, they're going to be able to go out and spend on something if they really want to. I know you're spending a lot on your quarterback right now. By the way, that quarterback, if Zaven Collins were to leave, Kyler Murray would be the only first-round pick left over from the previous regime on this team. Think about that.
Whoa.
They're all gone already.
Wow.
Except Kyler and Zaven Collins.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I did not know that. It's interesting because I don't think they're going to move Zaven Collins back inside. I don't. I think Zaven Collins will play the edge this year once again, and I think after that he'll get the opportunity to go somewhere else and get moved back inside. And I think maybe that's what could be in store for Zaven Collins down the road. We'll have to wait and see how this goes, of course, if he gets better on the edge or not. We'll have to wait and see. But when you got Mack Wilson Sr., of course, and Kaiser White, those two guys playing the inside. And that's going to be fascinating to me. I want to see where Kaiser is actually going to play. Is he going to play the weak side inside, or is he going to play the Mike linebacker? He played the Mike linebacker, of course, last year. Most of the time, you're going to have a Mike linebacker who also is your quarterback on the defense. He's making all the calls. Kaiser White is that guy. I'm just wondering, because Mack Wilson's got a little bit more butt, if all of a sudden you're going to take Mack Wilson, you're going to put him over as the Mike linebacker and still have Kaiser White calling the plays as the weak side inside. We'll have to wait and see.
I love that tandem in the middle, the Mack Wilson, Kaiser White one that you're talking about. It just feels like those two, we got to see it, obviously. They haven't played together, but it just feels like that could be a great tag team in the middle of your defense. Are you worried at all about sacks? They had 33 last year, and that was, 30th in the NFL?
Yeah.
They don't have to be number one.
Yeah.
But as I look at the defense, that's probably still my biggest question mark.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. You're talking about the pass rush. The number of sacks, it does matter, ladies and gentlemen. It does. For me, it's pressure. What kind of pressure can you really generate, right? And sacks, what a great indicator that you're generating a lot of pressure on opposing quarterbacks, right? But I think, honestly, if you break it down and look at it from a coaching perspective, pressures are just as important, right? Because you want to get in a quarterback's face. You want to impact him any way that you possibly can. You want to get in his face, maybe knock a couple of balls down. That can really start playing head games with him right there. It's not nearly as impactful as a sack because, obviously, loss of play, loss of yardage as well, Yeah.
I'm even with the pressure, it feels like if they are successful in that area this year, it's going to be more of a just collective team effort. You know what I mean? I don't see like one player on this team of, all the pressure is going to come from B.J. Ojulari or whatever, or it's all going to come from Zaven or whoever. Darius Robinson, though, will be fun.
Darius Robinson.
He's going to be fun.
Really interested right there because I think we ought to do this as a show. Maybe we'll go ahead and we'll chart it. Maybe we'll just chart this thing. Where does Darius Robinson line up? How many pass rushes does he have on third and obvious, by the way? That's what we'll do. We'll track third and obvious. Where does he line up? And how does he do? Is he going to line up over the center? Going to line up over the guard? Going to line up in a 5 technique over the outside shoulder of a tackle? Going to line up in a wide 9 over that outside? I mean, that's what I want to see.
Wolves Playbook for Dummies. 5 technique.
Defensive end that lines up on the outside shoulder of an offensive tackle.
Slam it, Mel.
When you say we're going to track this, do you mean you're going to ask Aaron to track it?
Well, actually, I was going to go with Rick on this one right here, okay? I mean, Rick is trustworthy, obviously.
You've made him into an investigative reporter. Let's see, you've given him like 7 jobs in the last week.
Well, I know. Rick he's over there going, what are you doing? Just don't worry about it, Rick. We'll talk about it. We'll have a show meeting about it.
No, Rick's handling this the right way because he's not doing any of these jobs you're throwing at him, so he's open to the next one you throw at him. It's perfect. It's a brilliant move, really.
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.